Wow, the months of inventory.
6 months of inventory. Yeah. That's quite a bit.
That's a lot. So buyers have a lot of options right now. Of course, it's a great time to be a buyer in Mueller or anywhere in Austin, really, but especially Mueller.
Hey there, Kathy Sokolic and Ashley Jackson with Realty Austin Compass coming to you in October with our September numbers update.
Yep.
We're a little late this month, sorry about that. But the numbers, they're still the same, so it's okay that we're late.
Nothing earth-shattering here. Nothing has changed drastically from the last time you heard from us.
Right. Yeah, so we'll start with...
Let's go right into the detached homes, the yard homes.
Single family.
Yeah, so it looks like we had 2 that closed in September, and we had 3 in the August.
Right.
So it's kind of tracking. And September numbers, really, this is almost every year. They're never like earth-shattering numbers. August tends to be a slow sales month. Everyone's on vacation. So September numbers will always reflect that. So kind of, I always take it with a little grain of salt, and then note that we have the influence from the election. Every election year, slower sales, right?
Even though the election doesn't do anything to our housing sales, we always have a slow real estate year.
Yeah, people just kind of put things on pause as we get closer to an election date. And then you throw in the increasing interest rate.
So when the Fed lowered those basis points, it was almost like it didn't matter, and rates are now closer to 7 than they are to 5. So.
Yeah, we had a few, like a week maybe. Actually, I think that was in September that we had a week. So maybe we'll see a little bit of that in October numbers when we look at that. But there was a week where they were like 5.9.
Yeah.
And then the Feds met, and the decrease was kind of already baked in to the interest rates at that time. And now they're just increasing almost every day. So, although they went down a tiny smidge yesterday.
Right.
Yes. Right. Okay, so that was our caveat.
These numbers always have a little background to them.
Yeah, because the marketplace is really, it's almost an art form. It's not just numbers. If you just look at numbers, you need the context for the numbers, and that is what realtors can provide you. So we had average days on market for yard homes in September, averaged around 46.
Yep.
That's actually not bad.
That's not bad, because August we were all the way up on 80.
Yeah.
So that was pretty great. And we're down 12 days year over year. So, I mean, that's a healthier, quicker sales season for single family homes.
Close to list price is still really strong at almost 95%. So people are getting 95% of what they originally listed for, which shows that sellers are being responsive to this market that we're in and being flexible. And that's how you get your house closed.
Price it correctly. And then months of inventory. So basically, if we didn't put any new homes on the market and then we sold everything that was there, it would take about 3.4 months, which is up from last year, but down slightly from August.
Yeah. Okay. So not bad. It's about what we're expecting.
Yeah.
Median sales price went down a little bit, 4.7% year over year. It is now at 1.043.
Yep.
1,043,000. August, and this feels like there might have been an outlier case sometimes when I see such a deviation in numbers like that. So August was 1.3 million. So we're down a little from what we saw in August, but when you're working with such a small amount of data, you can see wild variations like that. So I'm not too concerned about that. Let's talk about the row homes.
Let's talk about the row homes. Everybody's getting new roofs.
Yep, super excited. I got a new roof.
I got a new roof.
And a garage door because the roofers hit my garage door. So now I have a new garage door too.
Yay.
Yay us. So row homes had 5 new listings in September and 3 pending sales. And I think we had some motivated sellers get into these numbers. I mean, I know I certainly saw some sales like that in the new section. And when you got to move, and you need to be responsive to the market. So sometimes you might take a lower price than what we're used to seeing.
Yep.
Year over year, we've been seeing down 6 to 8% as the months go by, which, again, reflective of the kind of climate that we're selling houses in right now.
Right.
Average days on market were 50 for September and 25 in August. and last year was 64.
Yeah. So kind of just trended on that about 2 months mark.
Yeah, and it sounds like people are kind of making peace with the current marketplace. And then the close price to original list price was 89.4%. So again, we had a couple of motivated sellers, and that really does reflect that, well, they maybe had to cut a little bit deeper. You know, keep in mind our row homes are competing with some new build activity, and builders are able to offer a lot of deep incentives right now around interest rates and things like that, that sellers can't offer quite that deep, although they can compete in some ways on incentives. And your agent can explain to you how to do that. Wow, the months of inventory.
6 months of inventory. Yeah. That's quite a bit.
That's a lot. So buyers have a lot of options right now. Of course, it's a great time to be a buyer in Mueller or anywhere in Austin, really. But especially Mueller, it's, you know, as we know in the past, it's been a real competitive marketplace to get into. And I think this is great for buyers and sellers in Mueller. If you've been here a long time, you're sitting on some good equity, and you know, still very positive experience in my opinion.
Yes.
Median sale price, $800,000.
Yep. Which is up from last year, 20%. So again, it just kind of just depends on what's selling and what pocket of homes that we have to sell, because we don't have such a large number of homes selling every month. Like we have 2 to 3. So those averages and those medians there are just going to be pretty tight based on the actual inventory sold. So 800 is pretty great.
Right, and when you ran these numbers, you didn't pull the condos into the row homes. So some of the new build condos that aren't actually condos, they're row homes, but they've been entered into the MLS as condos. So if those are going at it, like being sold at a very low amount, they're actually not factoring into these particular numbers that we have pulled here today.
Yeah, so those would take a little bit more effort to pull. And we can work on that maybe for a year-end update in January.
That's true, yeah.
We'll do a little bit more deeper dive. I just promised something we're gonna have to deliver.
I love that. Well, that was our numbers.
Those are our numbers, y'all. Stay tuned for October and November. And remember that real estate numbers are always a lagging indicator. They're always historical, and we're just basing the future on these past trends. And we're gonna do our best, but none of us have a crystal ball to know exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, yep, that sounds good. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.